So if you're dealing with low energy issues, in this video I'm going to help you understand a really simple habit that you can do on a daily or almost daily basis that's totally free that could literally 10x your energy levels or even more. I'm even going to show you how to figure out, is this habit going to help you or not before you even start? And if it's not going to help you, I'll give you an alternative that can bring you some benefits as well. Because when we're looking at increasing the energy in a real way in the body, we don't want to just use some remedy. Some remedy is just going to give us some little boost. It's like, maybe I had a little more energy. I don't know. I don't really notice anything. I guess I'll keep taking this. Those things don't really show you something like, wow, I really feel more energized. When you really want to lift the energy levels significantly in the body, you have to work with the body's natural pathways that it wants to use to create that energy. So when we're looking at how the body does this, it has different fuel sources that it can use to create energy, but the main pathways that it likes to use are cellular respiration, and it has to have oxygen to do that. And not just oxygen in the system, it has to have oxygen at that tissue level so that it can create energy through this cellular respiration method. Now, if it doesn't have oxygen available, it has this backup method that it can use called fermentation. But this backup method of fermentation is just not as efficient. When it's creating energy through this cellular respiration, the main pathway, it can create 19 times as much energy. So if a person's having a problem with this pathway working correctly, why wouldn't they be tired? Everybody else is creating 19 times as much energy as they are. Certainly they would have a little bit of fatigue going on. So when we want to look at increasing the ability for the body to use this pathway, we want to look at oxygen utilization issues. Now, the pH of the blood is very important in this conversation. The pH should stay in a very narrow range, but it has the ability to lean a little bit on the alkaline side or a little bit too far on the acidic side. Now, when this happens, what's called the Bohr effect kicks in. And the Bohr effect in science tells us that when the blood is leaning too alkaline, the oxygen can't leave the blood and get down to the tissues where it needs to be utilized correctly. Now the body can't make energy through its main pathway, that cellular respiration, and it has no choice but to use that backup fermentation method. So it's not going to create as much energy. The Bohr effect also helps us understand that if the blood is leaning too far on the acidic side, now the body can't pick up that oxygen and take it all the places it's supposed to go. So again, the body can't use cellular respiration and it has to use that backup method, creating 19 times less energy than it would have if it could have made energy the way that it wanted to. So with this understanding, we can see that if the pH of the blood is leaning too far alkaline or too far on that acidic side, it can really hamper the body's ability to create energy and help us get through the day. So to get an idea if your blood is leaning too far on either side, there's a simple test you can do right now when you're done watching this video. Just get out your phone and set the timer for 60 seconds. And then when you start it, just count the number of inhales that you take in that 60-second period. Don't count inhale 1, exhale 2. Just count the inhales. So you just want to try to relax and breathe normally and count your inhales. Now for the body to work optimally, you really want those breaths to be between about 14 and 18 breaths per minute. If you're leaning less than 14, that's a sign that your blood is leaning too far on that alkaline side. Now this is not a diagnostic thing. This is just giving us an idea of how the body is operating. If your breaths are higher than 18, that's a sign that your blood is leaning too far on that acidic side. In either situation, the body can't use that oxygen the way that it really wants to. So here's the simple habit that you can do if your breath rate is lower than 14. Like when I had a lot of fatigue issues, my breath rate was like 6, which is not even really human. But that means my body was really having a hard time using oxygen correctly. So if your breath rate is lower than 14, you can do this simple habit to see if you create some improvement. So what you do is you just go for a walk for about 20 to 30 minutes every day, and on that walk you keep your mouth closed the whole time and just breathe through your nose. This can help by adjusting our CO2 set point, our carbon dioxide set point in the blood. Carbon dioxide is acidic, so if we can increase that carbon dioxide in the blood a little bit, that will acidify the blood, allow the oxygen to get down to the tissues where it needs to be so we can create energy the good way, like all the cool kids are doing it. So you just want to breathe through your nose. You don't want to talk to your friend. If you're walking too fast to be able to breathe just through your nose and you have to open your mouth, know that you're walking too fast. Try to slow down and make it an easy walk. You don't need to walk fast. Just make sure your mouth is closed and you're just breathing through your nose that whole time. This simple trick alone has the ability to, over time, help balance out that blood pH so the body can operate correctly. Another step you could do is to drink some carbonated water away from food. That also has the ability to lift that CO2 a little bit. But with those things together, a lot of people can really see improvements. Now, if your blood is leaning too acidic and your breath rate was higher than 18, then doing this could magnify the problem. It could make your situation worse. You wouldn't want to do that. But what you could do is you could get a supplement at most health food stores or on Amazon called choline bitartrate. We'll put a link in the description below just so you can see what we're talking about. I'm not telling you need to take this brand. I just want you to see. I know you're going to ask. But if you can take one of those per meal, that can start to alkalize the bloodstream a little bit, so now the body has the ability to carry that oxygen where it needs to go. Now, in either scenario, you just kind of want to monitor your breath rate and see how you're doing. See if you're moving in the right direction. Are you creating improvement, or have you gone too far and maybe you're going to create an imbalance in the other direction? So keeping an eye on where your breath rate is can be really helpful in this scenario. Just remember, I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling anybody what supplements they should use or giving any type of medical advice. I'm basically a stand-up comic turned nutrition author, because when I lost my voice for 8 years, 23 different doctors couldn't help me figure that out. I had to dig for my own answers to fix that, and now I teach health professionals in more than 40 countries how to help their clients fix the actual underlying causes of problems instead of just covering up the symptoms. But I'm going to put some links in the description below to some studies that talk about this stuff so you can dig into this a little bit more. And if your breath rate falls into that 14 to 18 range, but you don't have any energy, know that there can be other malfunctions going on that are restricting your body's ability to create energy properly. So if you want to dig into these a little bit more and understand other things that could be going wrong, or hear me explain the science between why the body adjusts its breath rate and how just manually adjusting your breath rate is not really going to fix anything, and more studies that show all this stuff is in the scientific literature, you can jump over right now and check out our video on 6 steps to improve chronic fatigue, and that'll walk you through all those things a little bit more. I can't wait to hear about your results.